In this video, I'm going to give you 6 reasons to why you should own some Bitcoin and why at this point it's almost irresponsible not owning any. And I will show you some mind-blowing charts that you have to see. And if you think any of that sounds interesting, you definitely should watch this video. Hey guys, like I said in this video, we're going to talk about 6 reasons to why you should own some Bitcoin. And the first thing I'm going to show you here is a really important chart that shows how many people are holding Bitcoin and Bitcoin that has not been moved the last year. So as you can see here, back in 2016, there was around 60% before the bull market started back in 2016, there was around 59% of Bitcoin that didn't move. And as you can see here, we went a little bit down after the bull run, but now we're starting to pick up the pace again, and now we're at 63%. So that means currently right now, 63% of all Bitcoin haven't moved in 1 year. And this is a big deal, especially after the Bitcoin halving that happened in May. So this is really important and can be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin. And the next thing we're going to look at over here is the Bitcoin number of addresses holding 0.1 coins that just reached an all-time high of 3 million. And as you can see here in this chart right here, you can see the chart right here that in 2017 it was a little bit over 2.5 million, and ever since the 2017 bull run this number has just been increasing. So that just means there's more and more people that are getting educated about Bitcoin and finding out about Bitcoin. And the last chart, before we move on to the stock to flow model, I would greatly appreciate it if you do enjoy my content, if you would subscribe, and remember to turn on the post notification bell so you will see my videos. Last chart here I'm going to show you guys that are really important, and shout out to Plan B on Twitter. Go check him out, Plan B. And as you can see here, this is actually his Twitter account, and this is a model that takes into account the flow of Bitcoin and the incoming flow. So it means how many Bitcoin there is, and then you compare it to how many Bitcoins are being mined. So as you can see right here, the purple line is the price, and the color lines are the actual price, and the purple line is the stock to flow price. And as you can see, the price has been following this model soon 10 years now, and now Bitcoin has a stock to flow of 55. So that means by the end of 2021, early 2022, we might have a Bitcoin price of 100,000. And with the other charts I show you of how many Bitcoin have been moved, the halving, the Bitcoin address is increasing, and I'll be showing you one more chart with the Bitcoin hash rate that also just keeps increasing. The Bitcoin hash rate is how much computing power is on the Bitcoin network. So that also gives you an indication how many people are into Bitcoin. So here is the chart for Bitcoin's hash rate, and as you can see, in early 2017 Bitcoin only had like 2.5 exahashes, and as you can see, since 2017 up until now, the Bitcoin hash rate has literally gone parabolic, and now we're up to almost 120 exahashes, which is insane. That means there are so many more people interested in mining Bitcoin, and the more mining power, the more secure the network is. So this is extremely bullish for Bitcoin. That means that more and more people are getting involved, and more millionaires and people with a lot of money are getting involved in the space. We were also at an all-time high with Bitcoin ATMs, right? Definitely check this chart out and check the other charts out as well, because I think they're really important for people to see, because people are really waking up to the fact that Bitcoin is here to stay. And the next thing we're going to talk about is inflation. Inflation is a big problem around the world, and lately we've been experiencing a lot of money printing in the United States. As you can see here in Venezuela, they have 2,300 almost % inflation. Then you have Zimbabwe, Sudan, Lebanon, Argentina, South Sudan. So these people are basically living in countries where their money becomes devalued and their purchasing power is just being taken away from them or stolen away from them. It depends how you want to look at it. And as you can see here, Argentina, Venezuela, like if you go to something called Coindance, you can actually see right here the Bitcoin volume in Argentina, and it's just increasing, and more people from these poor countries that has horrible inflation are just buying Bitcoin. And as you can see here you have the volume, and you can see it's just increasing. So more and more people are just starting to buy Bitcoin. And let's just look at some other countries as well, what's going on. And I think these charts are really important. It's a really great indicator showing that people from these countries that live in countries with bad governments and corrupt governments, that are starting to wake up and they're starting to trust Bitcoin more than their own currency. And here you have Chile is just increasing. And here you have Colombia, it's also just increasing. And many other more countries are also buying more Bitcoin. And because people are simply waking up to the fact that inflation is a huge problem. And as you can see on this chart right here, it's a big problem. There's 20, if you count all these countries, there are 25 countries with over 10% inflation, which is insane. That means their money is getting devalued by the day, almost not by the day, but it loses a lot of purchasing power. And the next thing we're going to talk about is fiat currencies. And many of you people might not know, but fiat currencies only have a lifespan of 27 years. And ultimately, if you think about it just for a couple of seconds, like fiat currencies is a zero-sum game, which means they all go to zero. They have all gone to zero throughout history, and all of the fiat currencies are currently going to go to zero. But as you can see in some of the countries, Venezuela, Argentina, they're starting to buy Bitcoin. And even with the US dollar, even though it might take 15, 20 years, ultimately fiat currencies are a zero-sum game, because the problem with it is that you can just devalue it by printing more money, right? And that's what's so unique about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's proposition is only 21 million coins, so you can't devalue Bitcoin. It's like, and also Bitcoin is the most secure computing network on the planet. So when it comes to fiat currencies, they're all going to go to zero, and all of those currencies are looking for hard money and hard asset. And that's what we got with Bitcoin. That's what makes Bitcoin so unique, because Bitcoin is that hard asset. You can't manipulate it. You can't print more Bitcoin, right? It's a system that you can't manipulate, and you can't just print more Bitcoin to devalue it, which makes it so unique. The next thing we're going to look at here is banks. Like, people right now are starting to wake up that banks are corrupt. They're abusing their power. As you can see here, Goldman Sachs is paying a $2 billion fine. And in this article right here, you can see banks hit with $10 billion in fines. So as you can see here, regulators hit banks with a near record $10 billion worth of fines in a 15-month period through 2019. And the figure is expected to increase in 2020. So more and more people are waking up to this fact that banks are not to be trusted. This is great news. And that's also why more people will look for Bitcoin. And as you can see here, Dan Held, also another prominent Bitcoin figure that you should follow in the Bitcoin space. And as you can see, your bank has been fined $323 billion since 2008, which is completely insane. And this is Paul Tudor Jones. He is a well-regarded global macro investor. He's been around for a long time, and he is now placing his bets on Bitcoin, and which is great news for a lot of people. And even Raul Paul is the founder and global macro investor for the Real Vision Group, is also now supporting Bitcoin. So a lot of prominent names and more people are coming out understanding Bitcoin and also supporting it. Because one of the reasons, which I'm going to talk about right now, why people are supporting it, is because of all of the money printing that's going on right now. The reason why prominent names such as Paul Tudor Jones, Raul Paul, and other big hedge funds are coming out and supporting Bitcoin is because of the stimulus packages that has been provided during Corona, because the government and the Federal Reserve are printing upwards of $2 trillion. And as you can see from this site right here, like, the stimulus package might end up being towards $6 trillion. And this is essentially money being printed out of thin air. So now you can see prominent names are starting to lose faith in the Federal Reserve's ability to manage the economy. I mean, that is not good for the fiat currencies, but it's great for Bitcoin. And that is one of the big struggles with fiat currencies, is that you can just print more money and there is no stop to it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. It's been great. I hope you learned something, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace, and have a wonderful day.